Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Problems are not here to break you, they're here to shape you. Every single challenge, every obstacle, every setback that you face in life is not a punishment. No, it's a blessing in disguise, a catalyst for something bigger than you can imagine. Too many people spend their lives running from problems, avoiding discomfort, thinking that problems are the enemy. But I'm here to tell you today, problems are your greatest allies. You've got to shift your perspective. Most people look at problems like they're walls, but walls are nothing more than temporary blockades. They're not designed to keep you down. They're designed to make you rise. The moment you stop seeing problems as roadblocks and start seeing them as stepping stones, that's when everything changes. That's when you start to see opportunities everywhere. Every problem is an invitation to grow, to evolve, to step into a better version of yourself. When you stop running from your problems and start facing them head on, you will realize that they are the very things that give you the power to transform your life. Growth doesn't come from comfort. Growth comes from adversity. You think the best version of you is going to appear because you're sitting back, relaxing, waiting for things to fall into place. No, my friend. Growth happens when things go wrong, when life gets tough, when you're pushed to your limits. That's when you discover who you truly are. It's in those moments of struggle that your real strength shows up. You find out what you're made of when things aren't going your way. You find out how deep your resilience really is when you're knocked down, but you get back up, ready to fight harder. That's where your greatness lives. And here's the truth that most people never grasp: problems are there to reveal your power. You think you know your strength? You don't. You have no idea how strong you are until you face something that challenges every fiber of your being. Until you confront something that forces you to dig deeper, work harder, and fight stronger than you ever thought possible. When you go through hell, when you get up after falling, when you refuse to quit, that's when you become unstoppable. Problems don't weaken you, they build you. They reveal the strength that's been dormant within you all along. And when you face them, you will see a version of yourself that you never imagined. Let me tell you something else problems force you to innovate. There's no room for complacency when a problem is staring you in the face. When you hit a wall, you can't just keep banging your head against it. You've got to figure out a way around it, over it, through it. That's when you start thinking creatively outside the box in ways you never would have considered if everything was easy. Problems push you to think smarter, to get strategic, to develop new solutions. The pressure makes you sharper, stronger, and more resourceful. That's why every challenge you face is actually an opportunity to level up. If you keep going, if you keep solving, you'll become someone who doesn't just survive the storm, but someone who thrives in it. And you know what? At the end of it all, problems are the secret sauce to success. You want to be successful? You want to build something meaningful? Then you need to embrace the problems that come your way. They are the real keys to success. The more problems you solve, the more you grow, and the closer you get to the life you want. Success isn't handed to you on a silver platter. It's earned through blood, sweat, and tears. It's earned by overcoming challenges, by proving that you're not afraid to tackle the toughest obstacles. The harder the battle, the sweeter the victory. So don't run from your problems, run towards them. Face them with everything you've got, and watch how your life changes. Every problem you face is a blessing in disguise. And once you start seeing them for what they really are, opportunities for growth, strength, innovation, and success, you'll be unstoppable. So embrace them. Take them head on. And know that the greatest version of yourself is waiting on the other side of every problem you conquer. You see, the biggest obstacle most people face in life isn't the situation they're dealing with, it's the way they see it. If you want to change your life, if you want to break free from the cycle of frustration, disappointment, and limitation, you must first change the way you look at things. Your perspective, the lens through which you view the world, has the power to either imprison you or set you free. It all starts with your mindset, how you choose to see the problems, challenges, and setbacks that come your way. I think about it. Life is constantly throwing things at you, obstacles, failures, rejections, and even betrayals. It's easy to let these things define you, to see them as signs that you're not cut out for success or that life is against you. But that's the old way of thinking. That's the mindset of someone who has been conditioned to accept their circumstances as permanent. The truth is, your circumstances don't define you. It's your perspective that shapes how you move through them, how you overcome them, and ultimately how you rise above them. When you shift your perspective, everything changes. A problem is no longer just a roadblock, but an opportunity for growth. A failure isn't a mark of defeat, but a lesson that teaches you what doesn't work so you can adjust your approach and do better next time. When you look at a challenge through the eyes of possibility, you begin to see solutions instead of just obstacles. You begin to see the potential for success, the potential for greatness, the potential for transformation in every situation you face. But that shift doesn't happen overnight. It takes conscious effort. It takes courage. It takes resilience. It's easy to stay stuck in a negative mindset, to let doubt and fear dictate your thoughts, and to fall victim to the circumstances around you. It takes true strength to rise above the negativity and see things from a higher vantage point, to look at what seems like an insurmountable challenge and tell yourself, I can handle this. I will learn from this. This is an opportunity for me to become better, stronger, and wiser. That's the power of a shift in perspective. You have to start training your mind to look for the good in every situation. You need to start viewing setbacks as setups for a comeback. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes. Every time life hits you with something difficult, you have to consciously choose to shift your perspective and find the lesson in it. Instead of complaining or sinking into despair, you have to ask yourself, what is this situation teaching me? What can I learn here? How can I grow from this? That's the mindset of someone who understands that they are the creator of their own future. When you shift your perspective, you take control of your narrative, you take control of your destiny. The world doesn't owe you anything. Life isn't fair, and things aren't always going to go the way you want them to. But how you choose to see those moments of hardship, how you choose to respond to those challenges, is what will determine whether you remain stuck or whether you rise. Life will test you. People will disappoint you. The world will challenge you. But if you can learn to look beyond the surface and see the opportunities within the struggle, then no matter what life throws at you, you'll never be defeated. You'll keep moving forward and you'll keep growing. When you shift your perspective, you stop seeing obstacles as personal attacks and instead you start to see them as stepping stones. You start to see them as the catalyst for your growth, your learning, and your transformation. You stop looking at everything through a narrow, limited view, and you start seeing the bigger picture. This shift in perspective will unlock doors for you that you didn't even know existed. It will give you the strength to push through when everyone else is giving up. It will ignite a fire within you that can't be put out no matter what. So the next time you face a challenge, don't look at it as an inconvenience or an insurmountable problem. Look at it as a blessing in disguise. Look at it as the moment that will reveal your true strength, your true potential, and your true ability to overcome. Shift your perspective and watch how your entire world changes. Growth comes from adversity. It's in the fire, in the struggle, in the moments when you feel like giving up that you find your true potential. People like to talk about growth and all the beautiful, easy moments, the moments when everything is going right, when the path is clear and smooth. But let me tell you something. Growth doesn't happen when everything is perfect. It doesn't come from the comfort zone or from the easy wins. It comes when the world throws everything it has at you and you decide you won't back down. When life gets tough, when the storms come crashing in, that's when you get the chance to prove what you're made of. You can't grow without facing hardship. It's like lifting weights. If you want to get stronger, you've got to challenge your muscles, push them beyond their limits, make them work harder than they ever have. The same goes for your mind, your spirit, your character. Adversity is the weight that you have to lift to grow stronger, more resilient, and more capable of handling whatever life throws at you. When you're faced with adversity, there's a choice you have to make. You can either let it break you, or you can use it as fuel to build yourself up. I've seen people who, when faced with difficulty, fall apart. They see the challenge, and instead of rising, they crumble beneath it. They lose hope, they lose faith in themselves, and they quit. But then, I've also seen others who look at adversity square in the face and they fight. They use every ounce of their strength, their will, and their determination to rise above it. They take that hardship and turn it into their greatest asset. It's not the hard times that define you, it's how you respond to them. The way you approach adversity is what will shape the rest of your life. Every obstacle you face is an opportunity to sharpen your character, to build resilience, to develop wisdom. Every challenge is a test of your ability to persevere, to keep going when you feel like quitting, to keep pushing forward when the world tells you to stop. The people who succeed are not the ones who avoid pain, who avoid struggle. They're the ones who embrace it, who take the hits and keep moving forward. Let me tell you, no one gets through life unscathed. The world is tough, and it will hit you hard. But if you let it, that adversity will mold you, will shape you into something greater than you were before. You'll walk away from those challenges with new strength, new skills, and a new understanding of yourself. Every time you get knocked down and get back up, you become better, stronger, and more prepared for the next round. The more you endure, the greater the growth. So don't run from adversity. Don't fear the hard times. Embrace them. Lean into them. They are the very things that will transform you into the person you are meant to be. Without adversity, you would never know your true power. Without hardship, you wouldn't know how strong you are. The road to greatness isn't paved with easy wins, it's built with the sweat, the struggle, and the grit that come when you face adversity head on and rise to the challenge. When you face a problem, it's not just an obstacle in your path, it's a mirror. It shows you who you really are. Problems have a way of revealing the strength within you that you might not even know exists. When life throws you a challenge, when the weight of the world seems to come crashing down, it's not there to break you. No, it's there to reveal what you're made of. It's in those tough moments, when everything is on the line, when you feel like you've hit rock bottom, that you discover your true power. See, you might think you know your limits. You might think you know how much you can take, how far you can go. But let me tell you something, you have no idea. You don't know what you're capable of until you face something that forces you to dig deeper, to push harder, to keep going when every fiber of your being wants to quit. It's in those moments of difficulty that your strength is forged. It's in those challenges that you find out just how resilient, just how determined, and just how relentless you really are. There is a power within you waiting to be unlocked. It's the kind of strength that only emerges when you refuse to be defeated. When you stand up after being knocked down, when you push forward after every setback, when you keep your eyes on the prize despite the chaos around you, that's when your true power reveals itself. You become someone you never thought you could be, someone who can handle anything that comes their way. Problems don't break you, they build you. They strip away the false beliefs you have about your limitations and show you the warrior inside. I think about it, no one ever became great by avoiding problems. No one ever reached the heights of success by sitting on the sidelines, waiting for everything to be perfect. Greatness is born out of adversity. Every challenge you face is an opportunity for growth, an opportunity to see the potential inside you that is just waiting for the right moment to rise up. The strongest trees grow in the harshest winds, And the most powerful people are those who have been through the fire and come out stronger. So every time life throws a problem your way, don't see it as a punishment, see it as the chance to become a stronger version of yourself. When you overcome a problem, you don't just solve an issue, you prove to yourself that you are capable of far more than you ever imagined. You strengthen your character, build your confidence, and set a new standard for what you can achieve. Every time you push through adversity, you raise your own bar. You set new limits for yourself and you prove to the world that nothing can hold you back. So the next time a problem arises, don't shy away from it. Embrace it, welcome it, know that it's your chance to show the world what you're really made of. The real strength you possess is waiting to be unleashed, and it's through your struggles, your battles, and your perseverance that it will shine the brightest. Let me tell you something you probably haven't realized yet. Problems don't just challenge you, they force you to think differently. They push you to innovate. The more problems you face, the more creative you have to become. You can't just sit back and expect solutions to fall into your lap. No, real solutions come when you're confronted with something that doesn't have an easy answer, something that forces you to tap into your deepest creativity, your deepest ingenuity. I think about the great innovators of history, the ones who changed the game, revolutionized industries, and transformed the world. Do you think they were living easy lives with everything handed to them? No, they faced obstacles, they faced massive challenges, but it was in those moments of adversity that they found their breakthroughs. Problems are not just inconveniences, they are the breeding ground for progress. Every major leap forward in human history came from someone looking at a problem and saying, I will find a way. I will make it work. I will create something that changes everything. Look at the world today. The technology we use, the systems we rely on, the methods that make life easier, it all came from problems. Every major discovery, every advancement was born from the need to overcome a challenge. The great minds who created these things didn't have all the answers handed to them on a silver platter. They had to work. They had to grind. They had to wrestle with problems that seemed insurmountable, and in that struggle, they created something that transformed the world. Here's the thing, when you're facing a problem, it's easy to feel like you're stuck, like there's no way out. It's easy to be overwhelmed and think that the world is against you. But what if, instead of seeing the problem as an obstacle, you saw it as an opportunity? What if, instead of running away from the challenge, you embraced it and asked yourself, how can I solve this? What can I learn from this? What new idea will come from this struggle? That's when the magic happens. Innovation doesn't come from comfort. It comes from discomfort. It comes when you're backed into a corner, and the only way out is to think differently, to see things from a new angle. When you're faced with a problem, the way forward is not to give up, not to retreat, but to look for the solution that no one else has thought of. Problems stretch your mind. They make you think harder, work smarter, and be more resourceful. The solution to every problem you face is out there. It's just waiting for you to find it. But you'll never find it if you don't challenge yourself to think outside the box, to get creative, to innovate. Innovation isn't just about technology or big ideas. It's about mindset. It's about looking at a problem and deciding that you won't back down, that you'll find a way no matter what. It's about refusing to accept defeat and pushing through until you've found the solution that will change everything. Every challenge you face is an invitation to innovate, to rise to the occasion, to prove to yourself and the world that you are capable of finding a way where others see none. You see, problems don't just test your limits, they expand them. They take you places you never thought you could go. They force you to think in ways you never thought you could. They pull out of you the greatness that you didn't even know existed. When you face a problem, your mind has no choice but to innovate. And when you innovate, you don't just solve the problem, you grow. You become better. You become stronger. And you build a foundation for even bigger successes in the future. So next time you're faced with a problem, remember this is not the end. It's the beginning of something new. It's the beginning of a journey that will take you to places you never imagined. Problems force you to innovate, and innovation is the key to everything. When you embrace the challenge, when you push through, when you find the solution, that's when you step into the next level of greatness. Problems are not the enemies we make them out to be. They are the tools that shape us. They force us to think deeper, to act smarter, to push further. The more problems you face, the more opportunities you have to innovate, to grow, and to redefine what's possible. When you stop running from challenges and start facing them head on, you open yourself up to a world of limitless possibilities. Remember, innovation isn't about comfort, it's about the willingness to embrace difficulty and use it as fuel to create something greater. Every challenge is an invitation to grow, to evolve, and to make a lasting impact. So the next time you're confronted with a problem, don't look at it as an obstacle. Look at it as your opportunity to create the solution that will change the game, your game, and maybe even the world's. Embrace the problem and watch yourself become the person capable of solving it.